Are you ready? Down, 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 down. Are you ready for a good show? I don't know, guys. Did we get a good show or not? Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. I know you might see the title and you might be thinking, how the hell can I think Bray Wyatt sucks? Well, look, the honest answer to that is I don't. I like Bray Wyatt. I do. But I do think this appearance on SmackDown tonight was very underwhelming. I don't really agree with what the direction I guess he's going in. I don't even know the direction he's going in. And I guess you could say, well, you know, stay tuned. Don't judge it yet. This could be good. I think people judged the whole Firefly Funhouse too early. I was guilty, I think, of being one of them. And it turned out to be really, really good. So who knows? Maybe what Bray's doing at the moment will turn out to be good, but in my opinion, him coming back, the first time we hear from him, and he's pretty much just talking about how he's had a hard time in his personal life. I mean, I never recall Undertaker. People compare Bray Wyatt to The Undertaker a lot. I never remember Undertaker coming out, breaking character, and talking about, well, I had an argument with my wife, Sarah, and we're getting divorced. I never remember that. I never remember Austin coming out and going, what? I opened a can of whoop ass on my wife. What? She wouldn't hand me a Steve Weiser. What? So I stomped a mud hole. What? In her ass. What? I don't remember that ever happening. So just Bray Wyatt coming out, talking about his personal life, talking about how we've saved him. This guy's supposed to be this mega fucking, you know, monster, creepy, spiritual, whatever you want to call him, character. And he's coming out thanking the fans. I mean, now the last like 20 seconds of the promo perhaps looked like there was something, I don't know, maybe controlling Bray Wyatt. We'll talk about that when we get there, right? I don't think he sucks, right? I like Bray Wyatt. I think he's probably he's easily one of the best things going in current wrestling today, but I just thought that the whole main event thing could have been a bit better, but I mean, who knows? I think it's going to be one of those like slow processes where we just have to wait, and week by week we're going to get like little pieces and stuff like that. Which, I know, it kind of does suck having to wait a week, then another week, then another week, but I guess it could be good, right? I just thought it was a bit weird, him coming out and opening up about his personal life and stuff like that. Personally, I don't like to see that in wrestling. We don't really care about wrestlers' personal lives, to be honest. We care about their characters, so, I mean, if Bray Wyatt, and it might sound harsh, like, but he mentioned about losing people, he might be talking about Brody Lee. In all honesty, guys, that has absolutely nothing to do with wrestling. That has nothing to do with Bray. Yeah, and I get it. Luke Harper was with Bray Wyatt, but for me, I just don't really care about that. I really don't. I mean, I think Mandy Rose is currently off because her brother died. When she comes back, she shouldn't be talking about that, you know. And I'm not saying it doesn't hurt, losing a family member or something like that, but that is your personal life, that is your real life, and WWE is, at the end of the day, it's fictional, and I don't think the two should cross. I mean, you don't go to a movie, and, like, Sylvester Stallone doesn't turn around and break character in a movie and talk about his son dying, does he? No, so I don't think we should see that in wrestling either. That's just my opinion. Every time I do see stuff like that, it kind of pisses me off. I'm just not a fan of it. But anyway, let's finally move into the review. I've kind of just buried Bray Wyatt, and I didn't want to because I like Bray Wyatt, but yeah, let's just move on. I do like Bray Wyatt, so no offense, Bray, but I just don't like it when people do that. Anyway, let's move on. So, this pissed me off too. We start the show with, like, there's an ambulance, there's like a limo or something like that. There's been a car crash backstage. We're told the EMTs are tending to an injured Karrion Kross. Scarlett is a bit frantic. Now, they were both in a car crash, yet Karrion Kross is the one selling the injury. Now, I get it. Look, just because two people are in a car, that doesn't mean that, honestly, that does not mean that, you know, they have to have, like, the same level of injury. Of course not, right? Two people can be in a car crash and one can fucking die and the other one can maybe just have a wee scratch on the head. I get that, right? I totally get that. But I thought it did look a bit weak that Karrion Kross is injured and Scarlett's not. She's just like pacing around, frantic or whatever. Then McIntyre comes in from nowhere, attacks Karrion Kross from behind, and all Scarlett can do is like lean against the back of a car as this all unfolds. Now I don't get it. Then like officials come and they pull McIntyre away. Right, let's cut through this, because over weeks we've seen Scarlett get involved in matches. She's got involved in just promos where it's came to blows. She's got involved. So Scarlett, whether it's physically, whether it's a distraction, whether it's spraying something in McIntyre's eyes at the pay-per-view, we've seen that Scarlett Bordeaux has not been afraid to get involved. But she didn't get involved here, when you could argue this is probably the most vicious and most dangerous Drew McIntyre has looked against Karrion Kross. Therefore, wouldn't this mean that out of all the occasions, this should be the time where Scarlett gets involved the most to try and protect her boyfriend / husband, whatever they are, her lover? But she doesn't do that. She just stands against the car, and that's what pisses me off when you interact men and women in wrestling. It just doesn't work now, because the man can't lay a finger on the woman, and the woman only can like attack the man when like an opportunity presents itself. Like for me, why didn't, say for example, why couldn't Scarlett have, like, you know, try and, I don't know, pull Drew away, maybe jump on Drew's back? Drew doesn't need to physically strike Scarlett, but he could have pushed her into the car, he could have threw her into the car, and she could have collided with the car, and that could have been her done. Or why was she not injured with the car crash? Could she not have been like laying down, and Kross could have been checking on her from the car crash, and then Drew McIntyre comes and attacks Kross from behind, and Scarlett is already out of the equation because she is like on the floor from the car? Would that not make more sense, guys? Am I like delusional for thinking that, or am I spot on? Let me know. Would that not have made more sense? Two things I think they could have done to make this look a lot more realistic, rather than just have Scarlett watch on as Drew McIntyre, you know, batters her boyfriend and beats him up, you know, in a parking lot. So they could have either just had her already down, selling the injury from the car crash, or they could have just had Drew push her into it. I mean, when this woman has, like, fucking threw a fireball in Drew's eyes, she's fucking hit him in the nuts. She has sprayed mace in his face. She has distracted him on multiple occasions that has led to him getting his ass whooped by Karrion Kross. Would Drew pushing her against a vehicle really make him the bad guy? Would that be, oh, you can't lay your hands out, you know, so this woman can borderline fucking kill Drew, try and get Drew killed, do shit to him every single week, but Drew can't retaliate? It is so fucking dumb, right? See, that's not how things work in real life. If a woman threw a fireball in your face, if a woman was like, you know, constantly assaulting you, you would fight back. You would maybe allow her, like, you know, she hits you once and you're like, okay, I don't want to do anything because she's a female. But if she's constantly like attacking you and hitting you with dangerous fucking deadly weapons, then sooner or later you're just going to be like, nah, I've had enough of this, and you're going to give her the same treatment you would give a man. So I don't see why we never get this in WWE. Yeah, I'm not saying that Drew has to. It might look. I get it, right? I'm not saying they should get Drew to go up and full on fucking punch her in the face and break her nose. I'm not saying that, but I mean, would Drew at this stage, if he threw her against the car, or if he hit a claymore on her or something like that, would that really make Drew the bad guy, considering everything she has done to Drew? Honestly, I don't think so. But yeah, then Kross is supposed to be in a fatal 4-way match tonight, but I think we kind of gauge by this that he is no longer going to be in it. Then we get Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is backstage with Solo and Jay. He says that Jay says that Jimmy isn't here because he's got family issues to take care of. Sami Zayn's like, I think if you had family issues, I would know about them. And then he kind of like points to his shirt. Then Jimmy's like, no, Jay says, real family, Sami. Which obviously you ain't in. Then Reigns phones. And all of a sudden, Sami puts Jay on. And Sami's got this like really, really old ringtone. It was fucking weird. But anyway, Sami puts Jay on. And then Reigns starts speaking to Jay. And basically tells Jay to like, calm it down, keep your head. And make sure Sami wins this match. So, I mean, it's a little bit funny. I thought it was alright. Then they go and have the match. Sami versus Kofi. I mean, decent match. Sami hits his blue thunderbomb and Kofi kicked out. I just don't get why they are so persistent on having people kick out of finishers. This wasn't the first finisher that was kicked out of tonight, but I just don't get it, especially on a normal show. Like, I get it, the pay-per-view, if there's like a big match, as a title match, maybe you can kick out of one finisher, but why? Why? I mean, when it first happened, it was only really like main eventers in the big title matches that would kick out of a finisher. But now everybody in the roster seems to kick out of at least one finisher, and I think it's a bit lame. But then Jay super kicks Woods, and then I don't know. Jay must have helped Sami about 1,000 fucking times here before Sami eventually got the win. He does get the win anyway. Kofi has Sami in a roll up, but then Jay slides in, kicks Kofi, and then Sami manages to roll over Kofi and pick up the free count. I mean, it was a fun opening match. It is what it is. It was okay. And yeah, Jey Uso helped Sami Zayn come away with the victory. Then we get Triple H and Ray backstage. Ray says he's at breaking point, and I won't fight my son, man. Ray says he can't do this anymore and he quits. Triple H's like, come on, Ray, you can't quit. There must be a better solution. He says, give me 5 minutes. Let's talk about this. And then they go into Triple H's locker room. I mean, Triple H is supposed to be this, you know, the head guy of WWE, you know, he's supposed to be the man, and, like, his locker room, like, the nameplate on his locker room is just, like, the Triple H logo, it's like the green logo, it looks a bit like DX with the 3 H's, like, shouldn't, at this stage, shouldn't Triple H have, like, a more professional locker room? Shouldn't it say, like, Paul Levesque? Or at least just say, like, Triple H in, like, normal fucking writing? Why has it got the big, like, Triple H logo? It just looks a bit dumb here, considering he is supposed to be, like, the head man. You know, it's different when you're in DX or something, or if it's your own locker room, and yeah, but when you're at this stage of your career, you're 50 and you're supposed to be like the top guy, the authority figure, you'd think you would just have a different, I know it's nitpicking, like, that's not really that important, but I just thought it was a bit weird, like, that Triple H is now top man, and he's running the room with, like, this childish, you know, like, nameplate on his locker room door. Bit weird. Then we go backstage, we have Perez, Shotzi Blackheart, and Raquel. Raquel tells her that Cora Jade used to be her old partner, but she's changed. She tells Perez to be careful. Perez says, yeah, she knows about that. So the reason she's here is because she wants to pick Raquel to face Cora Jade on NXT this week in the Pick Your Poison match. Then Bayley appears and says that Perez must be stupid because Bayley says she is the only choice. Perez then says, you're not exactly on a winning streak. Bayley replies and says, you're not on my level, and makes like a height joke, which is, I mean, who cares? I mean, it's irrelevant. I feel like a height joke is just, it means more when you're saying it to a man, because men are supposed to be, like, you know, big and strong. Yeah, Bayley saying this height joke to Perez, in my opinion, just, I don't know, it didn't really, I don't think it buried Perez. Alright, she is a bit shorter, and we know women are naturally smaller, but Perez is shorter than the average woman. In terms of height, she must be, I'd say she's under 5 foot, maybe like 4'10" or something like that, but honestly, it didn't really do a lot for me. Then we get Braun in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Why are we doing this shit? A 2-on-1 handicap match is something that you get in your first week or something, your second week, your first month when you're a big guy and you're trying to dominate through talent. Why is Braun, when he's been in the company, 7 years now? Why the fuck is this guy having a 2-on-1 handicap match against two bums? Now, I agree, there should have been a 2-on-1 handicap match, but it should have been against the Alpha Academy. Why didn't they have this at Extreme Rules to finish that sort of mini feud? Braun versus Otis and Gable. That's what the match should have been. That was it. Have that Extreme Rules, finish the feud, give Braun the win, Braun can move on. But they just kind of forget about that. And why not? It made perfect sense, but they don't do it. And then this week, Braun's been up 2 fucking nobodies. Michael Cole calls them jabronis, and Michael Cole's is right for a change. The word jabronis. Then we had Omos watching from ringside. MVP says that Omos is the real monster. Omos says that some monsters are supposed to stay in the shadows. And MVP says that Omos is going to, Omos, the 7'3" guy that is going to make Braun Strowman look normal. Right. Is Omos a couple of inches bigger than Braun? Maybe. But to suggest that Braun would look normal just because he's standing beside Omos is fucking ridiculous. And I get it. No, you can look a bit smaller standing next to a guy that's bigger than you. That makes sense, but He's not fucking normal. Did Kane look normal standing beside Big Show? No, he didn't. He did not. Will Braun look normal standing beside Omos? No, he won't. Now, maybe someone who's like 6'2", 6'3", someone who's like still pretty big, 6'3", 6'4", something like that, standing next to Omos, even though they're tall, then you could argue that they might look a bit smaller. But someone like Braun, who's billed at 7 foot, even though I think he's like 6'9", but let's be real, it's not like Omos is actually 7'3" either. They always add a little bit on. I just don't get what MVP was going here. I think for him to try and claim that he would make Braun look like a normal human being was a bit weird. Then we got a Bloodline promo backstage. Sami says he done it all himself. He got the win. Jay says, what are you talking about? I helped you win there. That's because it's what Roman Reigns wanted. Then Jay asks Solo what he's seen, and Solo says he was only paying attention to Sami. He's been learning, and Solo says he's been learning a lot for Sami. Sami says, yeah, that's right. You have been learning a lot, and tonight you need to go out and you need to do this on your own. So again, you can see that it's almost like Jay is losing his family to Sami Zayn, and it's kind of funny. I don't know what it's leading to. Some people think it's leading to JSO leaving the Bloodline. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's going to lead to that, but it's pretty good. You need this. You need a bit of friction in groups. I mean, if the group's just going to get along and they're all going to be friendly and shit like this, then it doesn't really work. You know, like in TV series. And like The Walking Dead, for example, I know people don't want to hear me talk about The Walking Dead on wrestling, but as soon as they killed off Shane, there was like no animosity in the group. Shane and Rick were like always, you know, at each other's heads, kind of fighting. But then when Shane leaves the group just turns into a let's kiss Rick's ass group. So, and that's what this group would be like if you didn't have Sami Zayn and Jey Uso bickering. So I do think it's good to have those two, you know, at each other's heads. So I enjoy that. Then we get LA Knight versus Mansoor. Maxine Dupree's hot, but I mean that's all I can take for this. I like LA Knight. I think the guy's good. He comes out. He's got a bit of a swagger to him. His whole his dress attire it reminds me of Razor Ramon. Hey Chico. But yeah, he beats Mansoor. I mean, who cares really? Then he cuts a wee promo saying that he doesn't need the fans, so beats Mansoor, then turns heel. But he was already heel, so doesn't really matter. Then with the 6 women's match, it's Damage Control versus... I fucking hate Damage. It's bad enough seeing Damage Control on Raw. Who thought it would be a good idea to put them on SmackDown now? Honestly, I absolutely despise this group. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. Just 3 people who have nothing in common, have no reason to team up, just chuck them together. And yeah, I mean, Bayley was never this good, right? I don't get this whole... I don't get this belief that like Bayley's a great talker. She wasn't. She was garbage. The whole ding dong thing was really fucking annoying. It wasn't great mic skills. It was embarrassing, man. It was really... Sometimes it was funny because of how bad she was, but that was it. She's not this great talker. Speaking of kicking out of finishers, I mentioned it earlier. Perez kicks out of the Bayley to Bayley or Bayley to Bayley. Why? I do not know. Then they get exchanged like some roll-ups and Bayley beats her with this really shit-looking roll-up. Looked awful. Then Hit Row come out. Legado del Fantasma squash them in like 2 minutes. Andrade, fuck him. Santos Escobar gets involved. What's her name? Selena Vega gets involved. And that's it. I made a video on why Selena Vega replaced Elektra Lopez, guys. Let me know down below, who would you rather see in Legado del Fantasma? Would you rather see Selena Vega in the group, or would you rather see Elektra Lopez? For me, it's Elektra Lopez, but I've got nothing against Selena Vega. Look, she's hot. She's a decent talker. I'm sure she'll do good, but the group just felt fresh to me, so like, when it wasn't broken, so why fix it? Then we got Sonya Deville promo, or Sonya Deville, saying that Morgan doesn't have it. She's proved it. She had her chance at Extreme Rules. Couldn't take it, blah, blah, blah. Then Morgan attacks Sonya. The brawl. Morgan lays out Sonya on a table. Then she climbs up like some sort of scaffolding and hits a big senton on Sonya. So I don't know. I guess we're getting a crazy Liv Morgan gimmick, or who cares? I mean, who really fucking cares at this stage? Some people are saying she might be in the Wyatt 6. I don't really want her in the Wyatt 6. Why not just put, again, I don't think Bliss and Bray was broken, so why fix it? Why not just put Alexa Bliss into the whole, if they're going to do a stable? Alexa Bliss is good on the mic. She is I believe, believable acting skills. Liv Morgan has none of that. Liv Morgan is terrible on the mic. Every time you see her acting, pretending to be like, upset or crazy, it just looks so fucking fake. So, yeah, why would you replace Alexa Bliss with Liv Morgan? I do not understand that. So, hopefully it doesn't happen. But it kind of looks like it might be going down that way. Then we move into the Fatal 4-Way match for the IC No. 1 contendership. And Ray has replaced Karrion Kross in this. We have the match, Bloodline come out, they attack Sheamus, and the Brawling Brutes come out, they even up the odds. So the 6 men are battling at ringside, they kind of battle up the ramp. Then Ray goes for a 619 on Ricochet. Ricochet catches Ray by the legs. Then Ray kind of just plants Ricochet on top of his head and I don't even know what you would call this, but it looked like Ricochet just got tombstoned here by Ray, man. He got planted on his head, man. Oh, man, it looked like he was dead. It looked like he was fucking dead. Ricochet gets planted head first, then Ray eventually hits the 619 and gets the win, and Rey Mysterio will be challenging Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Look, I like Ray. I think he deserves one last run as world champion. And I know nobody can be a world champion at the moment because Roman Reigns is holding the belts hostage, but I would like to think that maybe once Reigns loses the belts, maybe Rey Mysterio can get one last title run. Because in my opinion, his title runs have been underwhelming. You had the first one, he kind of only won it because of Eddie. And that's not me being, I'm not trying to disgrace Ray here or be disrespectful, but that was the main reason why he won it. He didn't have it long, lost it to, Booker T, King Booker. Then the second one he won, did he not? You think he lost it on the same night to John fucking Cena? Or it might have been the next week or whatever, but he didn't have that long either, so... Yeah. I don't know. I mean, just give Ray one last title run. Why not? And another... I guess I'll maybe talk about this more in a separate video, but Ray now is officially moved to SmackDown. Where does this leave his feud with his son? Seems like they put a lot of effort into it. It just seems a bit wasted. I don't know, I'll talk about more of that in a separate video, but I think it would be dumb if that is Ray now on SmackDown and he has no further interaction with the Judgment Day. For me, this should have led to a Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio match, and yeah, I'm just think it's a bit poor that if that's not going to be the case. Now, Ray's saying that he won't fight his son, and I totally get that from a storyline purpose, but if he actually feels that way in real life, then I think that's weird. Wouldn't Ray and Dominic want a match against each other? Wouldn't that be something that they can, hold on to till the day they die, that they had a match in WWE, probably on a pay-per-view? I think the match is coming. I think it's only storyline purposes that Ray's saying that, but if Ray genuinely does not want to face his son, then that, to me, that's just weird, because I think he should want to face his son, because it would be what a moment that would be for the Rey Mysterio family. Then we move on to the main event, which is the return of Bray Wyatt. So basically he comes out with his wee lantern, he gets in the ring. He says that this is the first time he gets to be him. It's a version of him, just him, nobody else. He's never got to introduce this to the fans before. It's just me being me, Bray Wyatt says. Bray chuckles, the fans pop. Then he talks about the past year of his life. He says he wants to share it. He's lost a lot of things. A fan shouts that he loves Bray, then Bray shouts that he loves them too. He said he lost his career, his self-confidence. He lost two people who are very close to him. He's getting a bit emotional. His voice is shaky, almost cracking. I don't know if this was just how it went or he was putting this on, but regardless, just didn't really like it. He says he's lost his way to a point where he thought he'd lost everything. He never thought he'd be in WWE again. And then he says that he was feeling sorry for himself for a while. And then he decided to stop feeling sorry for himself. He says that the people brought him back. Then he says that the people saved him and all that stuff. It was weird. Then what happened? The Bray says the fans wouldn't leave him alone. Every time he tried to get away and hide, they found him. They're the reason. Then the Wyatt logo suddenly appears on the big screen. The Wyatt face mask reported to be called Uncle Howdy, apparently. With the distorted voice from Extreme Rules and Raw appears on the screen. The masked character tells Wyatt to come with him. Your life is done. Forget the future. Forget the past. Life is over. The character continues and says, you have no idea who you're dealing with. Oh, but you will. The character laughs and repeats the line, oh, but you will. Oh, but you will. Oh, but you will. And SmackDown goes off the air. So, I don't know. Are we supposed to believe that Bray Wyatt has been, like, controlled by another character? He's got, like, an alter ego? Who knows? Who knows? It was alright. I just don't really like the whole, oh man, you fans brought me back and all that. I mean, fuck that. I just don't really like that stuff, to be fair, especially when you're dealing with such a character like Bray Wyatt. It's different someone who's like mega over with the fans, who's a big baby face, and you can maybe argue that you talk about the fans bringing you back, and you know you can back for the fans, but I don't think Bray Wyatt should be speaking like that. Anyway, was it bad? No. Just wasn't really what I was expected. Overall, this SmackDown was alright. I mean, the matches were pretty good. Some of the promos, there was nothing bad about it. The opener, you know, it's exciting. It started with a brawl, but like I said, I think the brawl could have been improved massively. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It was okay. It was decent. Yeah, 4 out of 10, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Catch you in the next one. And that's it. 4 out of 10, as Bret Hart would say. Peace.